Hi everyone, what's going on? What is going on? It is Lockie, it is Close Watch Football, and it is yet another A-League Watchalong, a Sunday Watchalong. We don't often do Sunday Watchalongs, but of course this round's being extended out a little bit longer. We've got a Monday night game tomorrow night, Melbourne Victory, Brisbane Roar, but tonight, Perth Glory, Western United. Perth Glory finally getting back to Western Australia next week. So they've got that to look forward to. So I think they'll have a bit of a spring in their step heading into this game. But of course, they have a massive test in the way of, in the form of Western United, who are, of course, one of the top teams in the competition right now. And yeah, man, just very interested to see how this game's going to pan out because both of these teams, these are the two best defenses in the league by a long way too. Both of these teams have been really solid in defense. I see you guys in the chat. What's going on? Jezza Boy, Julian, Stephen. So good to see you guys in here nice and early and ready for this game. We are only just under 50 minutes away from kickoff. Football State's in here. G'day, Lockie. How's it going? I'm doing well, mate. I'm doing well. How's it going over there in WA? I know you're not a Perth Glory fan, but hope all is going well over there. I know that the borders are slowly starting to open up, right? That's happening now, isn't it? Football podcast is in here. Yeah, there he is. Just finished first post-game reaction for the Jets. So good. Any Newcastle Jets fans in here, make sure to check out the football podcast. Harry did some awesome stuff. Julian, how's it going? Ready for this game, Julian? Should be an interesting one. And we're going to jump into the team news in just a second as well. And again, actually some interesting changes. That will be interesting to talk about and see what you guys think about in terms of your prediction heading into this game. So we'll run through the lineups and then we'll talk about predictions and see how we're feeling. Of course, the major injury news for Perth Glory, no Daniel Sturridge. So you can see here for the lineup for Perth Glory, we've got Liam Reddy continuing in goals. The back four should be Josh Rawlins, Jonathan Aspro. Gosh, I was going to attempt his name. I don't think I've ever successfully said his name properly. Aspropotometes. That's probably it. Aspropotometes. If you just sound it out, it's easier. Aspropotometes and Latchman. Darryl Latchman has been superb for Perth Glory at the back. He's been an absolute brick wall. Of course, KSK Otter at left back. Mitch Oxborough has been playing a lot of football in that defensive midfield role for Perth Glory, and they have changed formation a couple of times, but this is the formation they have. It looks like they have been playing in recent weeks. Of course, Perth just have been so inconsistent with their football, in and out, in terms of whether they're going to run a games and whether they have a break. But it looks like they are getting a really solid run now and going to be back home very soon, of course. Bert Gilroy expected to start on the right-hand side. Colley and Simmons through the middle. Jack Clisby, former Central Coast Mariner, on the left-hand side. Bruno Fornaroli has been superb for Perth Glory. He has really been, I don't want to say he's been carrying this Perth Glory side, but he's been so key for them, man. So key for them. Let's look at the lineup for the away side too. Western United, check it out. And there is one really interesting change here, and we're not really sure how it's going to play out. I don't know whether there's been any news coming out in terms of what it's actually going to look like. But you can see here, Jamie Young, it's a pretty standard back four. There is no Tomoki Imai, so no Tomoki Imai in the back four. He's on the bench, so Topper Stanley comes into that back four there. Rennie Krin, it's his first start in Australian football. But Steve Lustig is also starting. Of course, Steve Lustig, the man of form, he scored midweek against Sydney FC. We expect him to start in that number 10 position, whether maybe Rennie Krin comes into that role. We do know Rennie Krin is a defensive midfielder. Dylan Perez and Lockie Wales will be the wide players, and Prijovic has really been looking good lately. Heavily involved last weekend in that win against West Sydney Wanderers with a goal and 2 assists. He was superb. So yeah, man, some interesting lineups. But looking at these lineups, guys, how do you feel now? What are your predictions? Start dropping your predictions in the chat if you'd like. Start dropping your predictions in the chat. Michael's in here, says, imagine supporting Mariners or Western United. Why do you say that? Why does Sturridge not play? Sturridge is unfortunately injured still. Yeah, he picked up an injury midweek against MacArthur FC. He came on a half time and it was really promising. It was going to be his longest stint on a field, a full 45 minutes. Picked up a groin injury within 18 minutes. It was hugely disappointing. Shadow says Lucica played as the number 10 in the second half there in the game against Sydney. Football State says strange how Brandon O'Neill isn't starting. Richard Garcia is a clueless coach. I don't care about Perth's glory at all, just saying he's clueless. Shadow says 1-0, and here comes predictions. 1-0 for Western United, says Shadow. They love doing it. Hey, I think 7 out of 13 games, isn't it now? They've won 1-0. It's really remarkable. CJ also says another 1-0, 2-0 to Western United, says Jaden. Football says 2-1 Western. Looks like we've only got Western predictions in here. Pretty interesting to see. Kareem starting, says Chuck. Yeah, man, it should be very interesting to see how he goes getting his full proper start now. Steven's in here says, still sad that the Mariners lost to Adelaide 2-1. Yeah, it did. Frustrating one, but looking forward, dude. Mariners fans, we're looking forward to getting home next week at home against Brisbane. Big game. Sammy, how's it going, mate? Sammy says 2-0 to Perth. 2-all draw is the tip for CJ. Ryan says, hopefully Glory take the win tonight. Need Western to lose. Up the Knicks. Yeah, dude, I mean, especially for those teams towards the top. If you're a Melbourne City fan, if you're an Adelaide fan, even Melbourne Victory, those teams towards the top, then the top six there, they're going to want Perth Glory, be back in Perth Glory to get a result. But don't forget, Perth Glory have only played 10 games this season. They have a lot of games in hand on some of the teams above them. I think Sydney have played 15 now after last night. So Perth Glory have 5 games in hand on teams like Sydney FC and I think Adelaide United as well. Perth could, and especially with Perth going back to Western Australia next week and just playing a run of home games, they could be a dark horse this season where with that run of home games could just go up and just come out of nowhere and just, they could be a top 6 size. I don't think it'll happen, but yeah. Sammy says, what a goal by Lecky last night. Dude, fantastic strike from Matt Lecky, of course. We did the double Watchalong last night. It was chaotic. It was a lot of fun. Adelaide 2, Mariners 1. Very disappointed about that result being a Mariners fan. And a really entertaining game in Sydney. Sydney FC 1, Melbourne City 2. That was a big result for Melbourne City because it really sort of cements them as potentially going back-to-back this year. They are seriously contenders once again. They have been inconsistent. They have been leaking goals. But when they have big players like Matt Lecky to step up and score goals like that, that's the quality that you need to win a title. And it looks like they have that. Chris says, hey, Lockie, what are your thoughts on the recent proposal for the National Second Division? I had a look at it, and it looks promising, man. It looks promising. I think it's anything is good at this rate, right? I feel like it's good that it's actually happening now. We're talking about it, and I did read something regarding promotion relegation, potentially whether that comes into involving the A-League maybe in another 5 years' time or something, which would be awesome, man. Is Diamante on the bench? Good question, actually. Let's pull up the benches. Good question. Of course, Diamante's such a... Diamante's a funny one because he hasn't necessarily been... I don't want to say he's been key to West United because he's barely getting involved in the goals and the assists, to be honest. It's been everyone else pulling the weight. He's still a classy player. Let's double check the benches for you guys. So for Perth Glory, of course, as we mentioned earlier, Brandon O'Neill, Nick Fitzgerald on the bench, Cameron Cook, Daniel Steins, Brandwell Stanovic, and Zimmerino. And for Western United, looks like there's no Diamante on the bench. Well, they've got Scott, the keeper, Theo Harris, Tomoki Imai, Milanovic, Wenzel, Halls, Bayu, and Skatardis. So a decent bench probably for Western United more so than Perth Glory, I probably have to say as well. Football State says a second division is needed, even a third one. More pro divisions, the better. Take a look at football pyramids of European countries. Yeah, man, dude. I mean, it would be great. It would be great. I think it's tricky though. I think we have to also realize that in Australia, it's obviously we have got different challenges being in Australia. I mean, it's such a large country, physically large, geographically large. And football obviously isn't as big as as it is in a lot of those European countries, man, where they can obviously set up multiple divisions. Yeah, man. Zimmerino has the worst haircut in the A-League, says Shadow. Football State says Liam Reddy will retire at 60. Dude, yeah, at this rate, mate, Liam Reddy has is just goodness me. He just does not stop, does he? He doesn't stop, does he? How good. Guys, I need your help as well in the live chat. Let me know, how's the live stream looking right now? Is it glitchy? Is it looking okay? Just because last night in the live stream, I actually didn't realize it at the time, but it was actually glitching in and out, and I apologize for that if you were there. Usually we get pretty good connection, but last night we were in a bit of a different location, it was glitching. So let me know, is the live stream, when I'm moving around, are we glitching in and out? Let me know in the chat. Let me know if you can hear and see me loud and clear. We are only 5 minutes away from kickoff in this game. Available to watch on Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus, so not on Freely, we're Paramount Plus. How good. As the rain starts to come down here in Central Coast, New South Wales. Let me close some windows. party. Let's go. Let's go. Stephen's gone for Perth Glory. We're talking about promotion and relegation. Marcus is saying if we can't find a couple of leagues to act as relegation promotion, the Australian government wouldn't invest in Australian soccer. Interesting. There are a few glitches, but it's good enough for me still. As long as it's not, I mean, there's always going to be a couple things. But last night it was cutting in and out a little bit, which I didn't realise until afterwards on the replay. I was like, oh gosh, goodness me. Small glitch when you move a little bit. You can still hear. Well, if you can hear me, then that's probably the main thing, eh? If you can hear me, then that's better than nothing. Then that's better than nothing. And of course, I mean, we're all watching the football anyway. Cheers, guys. Cheers for the feedback. Appreciate it. Cracked here says West United 4-0. Ooh, would be a big one. That'd be a big one for Western. I think this will be a low-scoring game, I mean, purely because of the fact that these two sides are just defensively so strong. I mean, the two best defenses in the league. I can see this one. I mean, will it be a 0 or draw? That was actually my prediction in this week's predictions video that I did on YouTube. I said, I don't often predict 0 or draws, but I just went for it, man. I was back in 0. So I don't want to say that because obviously we want to see a good game. We want to see some awesome goals, but don't be surprised if it ends a scoreless draw. Brock's in here. How's it going? Marcus says, I don't know about the talent of the players in the state national youth leagues and Wales. Yeah, look, and I saw a quote actually today. Excuse me. I saw a quote earlier today. It was from an article or something. I'll have to pull up where it's from, but I think it was Simon Hill. No, it wasn't a quote. It was just like Simon Hill was tweeting on something and brought up the fact that a big reason why Australian football is behind is because the fact that we simply don't play enough games. There's been 26 games in the A-League. What did he say? I think it was like in the NPL they play like 22, and then I think he said like at grassroots they play like 18. And he's right? Like when you think of a lot of the European countries and stuff, they play like heaps and heaps of games. Like 30, 40 games, you know, at least. And here, yeah. That's right, Marty. We got the Spurs jersey on, of course. Marty's tipping Perth 1-0. That'd be a big result for Glory. If they could get a win here, that would shake things up. Actually, if we want a result that's going to shake things up a little bit on the ladder, then 3 points for Glory would be that. Just to not let West United take off towards the top of the ladder as much. Bruno Fornaroli, 5 goals so far this campaign. He's the man to watch. Bruno Fornaroli. Dude, I'm keen for this one, man. I'm oddly keen. It's one of those games where it's like it's not necessarily two of the biggest names in the A-League, but sometimes those games can prove to be really entertaining. So teams are out in the field, and we are very shortly about to get underway. And of course, the clock that you see here on the scoreboard will be synced up to my stream here, and of course, there is always a bit of a delay on the YouTube stream here, so expect a slight delay, maybe by 10 seconds or so. So in case I scream for a goal, might happen a few minutes after the fact. Leo Quar, 12 matches played this season, 51 clearances, pass accuracy almost 90%, absolute tank at the back, and Daryl Latchman too. I mean, yeah, keep an eye as well. My matchup that I mentioned in the predictions video in this game, Alexander Prijovic up against Daryl Latchman. Man, Prijovic just a beast at the front. And Daryl Latchman as well. I mean, a brick wall, as I mentioned earlier, at the back for Perth Glory. So keep an eye for the duel between those two guys, two massive players. Prijovic, the Serbian, Latchman. He's not Dutch. I can't remember the nation that he's from, but it's not Dutch. But he has played in Netherlands. Someone in the chat, back me up. All right, about to get underway here in Tassie. Of course, this game being played in Launceston. 1 week before Perth Glory finally get back to Western Australia. They're taking on Adelaide United next weekend. Massive one for Perth Glory fans. Of course, Perth play a midweek game, though, this week before heading back to Western Australia against Melbourne City in Melbourne. Bruno Fornaroli is about to get things kicked off. The clock here is about to get underway, so you guys can sync up the streams. We are reacting to everything, keeping you guys updated to the lineups. Rennie Krin starting, the Slovenian. And we are underway in Launceston. Let's bloody go. What are we saying? Marcus says Latchman is part Dutch. He might be part Dutch. I think that's it. It's Curacao or something. I think is the country, right? Yeah. All right. Here we go. Talking about expansion, football states saying Canberra, Wollongong, Tassie deserve teams. Would love to see Tassie. And John Aloisi mentioned that in a press conference in recent days, actually. Heading down to Tassie. He mentioned the fact that he'd love to see an A-League team down here. Yeah. Nation was Curacao or something. Yeah, I thought it was Curacao, yeah. Ooh. Brock says so keen to go to HBF Park for an away day. Is that true that Adelaide are going away to Perth next weekend? I think that's who they're playing next week, Perth Glory. Pretty sure it's Adelaide. And then it's Mariners the following week. I'm pretty sure. If my memory serves me correctly. Football State says I would go as far as to say that that if Lee Lacroix wasn't there for Western, they wouldn't be in the position they are at all, not even close. Well, I mean, maybe you're right. I mean, he's just been so crucial to that backline. Jack Clisby looking to get in behind early. Clisby's in, chips it in. Topper Stanley is there. Interesting decision on the Lee Lacroix discussion. I mean, the other centre backs they got there, Tomoki Imai, fantastic, underrated centre back. And Topper Stanley, I mean, is just he's been good at Western in the few games he has played for them. So yeah, man, I think those two guys would have still done a good job, but maybe not as well. They maybe not would have held onto so many clean sheets if they didn't have Lee Lacroix. Brock asks, is Dan Sturridge on the bench? No, Daniel Sturridge, unfortunately. Did a groin injury, we believe. I'm not sure if that's been confirmed, but he went off injured after only playing 18 minutes off the bench against MacArthur midweek. So big shame. And honestly, and look, I don't really like the term flop, but I feel like we're soon going to be maybe dropping the flop label. What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think is it okay to be dropping the flop label on Daniel Sturridge? Can we say that, or is there still time for him to turn it around? I mean, we're almost halfway through the season. Perth Glory obviously have so much football to play, though. So, look, if Daniel Sturridge can get his fitness back within the next couple of weeks, get settled in Perth, get in a run of form, start banging in some goals, yeah. Shadow says, I like Callum Timmins, play a proper hard guy who isn't afraid to do a big tackle. Yeah, I like Callum Timmins, man, and has a strike from distance, doesn't he? I keep thinking back to that strike, the incredible goal that he scored away to Wellington last season. It was one of the Wellington's games back at home in New Zealand in Eden Park in Auckland, I'm pretty sure. And he scored a goal from like 35 metres out. It was insane, Callum Timmins. Keep an eye out for him in this game, number 19. He's playing in one of those sort of number 10 roles, if you like, for Perth Glory. There he is. So, neither team really yet to stamp their authority on this match. It does look like it is Steven Lustica, indeed, as you guys mentioned, playing in that number 10 role. Brock says Daniel Sturridge has already been called flop. Shadow says, yeah, as of now, Sturridge is a flop. Football Force says, should have Auckland, Gold Coast, Wollongong, Canberra as teams in the next 2 years. I'd be down for all those, yeah. I do still, the thing that I always think about, and look, I'm totally down for Wollongong, but I think we should wait a little while until we add another New South Wales team, just because we already have 5. Like, that's a lot. Marcus, is Wenzel Halls on the bench? Yes, he is. Wenzel Halls is on the bench. Here's a chance for glory. Rawlins trying to work it into the box. Timmins. Garuccio's there. And Perth. Well done, Timmins, for winning that throw-in, but there was like they calling that a free kick on Timmins? Maybe not. Chris says availability is the best ability. Unfortunately, Sturridge is a flop. Rubens in the chat says, Auckland is needed, dude. And would love for Auckland. Like, imagine how epic that would be. And no other codes do it. I mean, and when you look at the NBL, Rugby League, when you look at, what are the other ones? Dude, why am I blanking? Those are the two just spring to mind, man. Obviously, it's sort of very commonplace just to have, like, the one New Zealand team in these Australian competitions. But it would be different, and it would be exciting. And a good way to expand it, really include New Zealand, to have a derby there, to have a second team. Ruben says, imagine a New Zealand derby. Dude, it would be epic. It'd be epic. Packed cake tin, packed Eden Park, if they played it up there. And I imagine Auckland is the other ideal option, isn't it? And you got Wellington and Auckland. Unless you want to have a team on the South Island. It's Jack Clisby coming forward for Perth. Plays the ball. Here's Timmins with a strike. I told you he likes his long strikes, man. This one goes wide, but Callum Timmins didn't hold back there. Ruben says, surely and someone in Auckland has the funds for it. Maybe. Marcus says 6 New South Wales A-League clubs should be the ceiling. 6 sounds like enough. Unless, until they get promotion, unless they get multiple divisions going, promotion relegation, then obviously you can have more. But yeah, man. Ruben says Auckland would bring good crowds as well, I reckon. I think so. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Auckland, that's where New Zealand Knights were initially based, hey? Mount Smart Stadium, I'm pretty sure, in Auckland. The old New Zealand Knights for those early years in the A-League. Shadow says Auckland is even bigger. It is an even bigger city than Wellington. There you go. Chris says the APL recently said they won't be adding any new teams in the next 2 years. I think Canberra is the one. I think Canberra makes a lot of sense though, right? I mean, again, they're wanting to sort of... a lot of the men's teams are getting women's teams. Like, hopefully the Mariners are getting their women's team up and running next season. It makes sense for Canberra United, A-League women's, to get a men's team as well. So I think Canberra... I think if you're going to bet on any team to come in next, it's going to be Canberra. There's already a club there. So why not just bring in a men's team? Yeah. How is your stream ahead of Paramount Plus stream? Maybe refresh your stream and that might fix it up. We got 20K fans for the next game. That's true, Ruben. Yeah, that's true. Those 2 games that the Phoenix played back in New Zealand at the back end of last season, they packed out those stadiums. It was awesome. Shadow says Gold Coast would also be good to give Brisbane a bit of a rivalry. I agree. Would love to see Gold Coast given another try. Good population size, good stadium there. I've never been, but it looks like a nice stadium for football. Here's Western United attacking through Parias in the box. Good run, Parias, using his pace. Okay, Perth deal with it. Stephen, actually, no match reaction after this one tonight. We only do match reactions after the Mariners games, so it'll just be this match watch-along tonight. No, I think you're right, Ruben. I think it was over 20K for both, for the Wellington game and for the Auckland game when Phoenix went back last season. That sounds right. Mike says the Townsville team failed. Yeah, I feel like Gold Coast makes more sense than Townsville. I'm pretty sure it's a bigger population size than Gold Coast, right? Isn't Gold Coast like 500,000 or something? 500,000 people in Gold Coast? Something around that. It might even be more. Whereas Townsville, I'm pretty sure, is definitely smaller. Oh, ball over the top looking for Parias. Latchman cuts it out. Both teams just feeling each other out here. Getting the vibe. Shader says Wellington's first home game next season is going to be packed for the women's and men's team. Hopefully, man, dude, we'd love to see it. I wonder if there's... I don't know if it's been confirmed. To be honest, I almost don't keep up with the border situation that much anymore, but do we know when if a Trans-Tasman bubble is going to open up anytime soon? Because I was wondering maybe if Phoenix could get back again. Same thing they did last year for a couple games at the end of the season. It's probably unlikely, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Shutter Gold Coast would be a nice place for an away day as well. What program do you use for streaming? OBS. Here's Bruno Clisby. Jack Clisby for Perth Glory, left wing. Maybe Clisby just went back to Perth because he wanted to play high up the park. He wanted to play left wing. And his last year at the Mariners, he changed his number from 3 to 11. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why. Chris, you're asking the big questions, mate. Do you think Australia going to qualify for the next World Cup? I like to think of myself as one of the more optimistic fans in Australian out of Australian football fans. So I'm going to say yes. I think at a packed Accor Stadium in Olympic Park next month, I think Socceroos get a result against Japan. It's going to be tough. Away to Saudi Arabia is going to be tough, but maybe a draw there. And would that be enough? Maybe mathematically. I'd have to look at the ladder again. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I think we do have to win both games, maybe, don't we? But look, I think we do. I think Australia do. I think when you look at Tom Rogic, when you look at Jamie McLaren, when you look at Aaron Moy, these clutch players, Martin Boyle, they could come up big. All right, Western could break here over the halfway line. Wales, great pass. Dylan Parius is away. And what a save, Liam Reddy. And oh my goodness, do you reckon he should have shot there, gone for the pass? Do you reckon he should have shot there, gone for the pass? Prijovic was square and had space in the box. What a pass by Lachie Wales. Good Lord. He's really tightened up that part of his game, isn't he, Lachie Wales? But Dylan Parius, I mean, you might as well utilise his pace if he's got it like that, eh? Look at this from Wales, man. Oh, that's perfectly weighted. You won't see a better pass this weekend in the A-League. Liam Reddy, though. Great save. Great save. Barry says, great crowd last night at the Adelaide game. Yeah, dude. It looked great. It looked great. Ooh, Football 04 says, do you reckon one day a Darwin team could be made? Could be able to stadium there like the ones in Qatar with air conditioners? Because I know, yeah, it obviously does get very hot in Darwin. Corner for Western. I'll answer that question in a second. Liam Reddy claims. Would be awesome. I don't think it'll happen anytime soon. Would be awesome. I don't think it'll happen within the next 10 years. I think there's a lot of other locations that are gonna get there ahead of it. Perth could be in here. Is Bruno Fornaroli? Why did he shoot, dude? Why did he snatch at that? Bruno Fornaroli just picks up the ball and has a go from a weird angle. Hey, Mr. Saints fan, what's going on? Good to see you here. I hope Town says, I hope Christian Volpato chooses Australia. Dude, I've seen so much Christian Volpato chat in recent days and weeks. Even in these live streams and everything. I don't know why everyone's so... I mean, yeah, he's obviously playing at a good club in Roma. But he's still so young. When will Sturridge return? I don't know if we have a timeline in terms of when he will return. I think it might be just a few weeks. Few weeks, I'm going to say. What do I know, though? I'm hoping it's only a few weeks, right? I'm hoping it's no more. For the sake of Perth glory in the A-League, we want to see him play games and score goals. Dude, and he missed a sitter against MacArthur during the week too. Not a sitter, but he had a really good chance and missed it big time. So Western United, with probably the best chance of the game so far, fell to Dylan Parius. All right, here we go. It's the battle of the defensive shapes, isn't it? It's the battle of the defensive shapes here. You can see Western setting up in that. There's 2 blocks or 4 that they set up in. It's a hard system to break down. A lot of teams haven't been able to. Of course, these teams met earlier on the season. I think it was around 4 or 5. Western picked up a 1-0 win, of course, in that game. Football Podcast asks, what other content should I add to my channel? Doing post-game reactions, match previews, weekly podcasts. Yeah, dude, just more the merrier, hey? Even some in-stadium content too. I know the matchday vlogs are always a lot of fun too. Ooh, Football 04 Sydney Derby prediction next week. Well, look, regardless of, Sydney Derby, the form goes out the window, as they say. And while I think that is the case here, Sydney FC should win. Sydney FC should win the derby. I know it's going to be at CommBank. There should be a good crowd in that game. A lot of Wanderers fans, especially now that John Sassames has announced his departure. So Sydney derby prediction, I'm going to say 2-1 Sydney, 2-1 Sky Blues. Wanderers are going to try and get up for it. It's a big occasion, and they'd love to turn the season around with a win there. But look, Sydney FC, I know they lost last night against Melbourne City, and from what I've seen, a lot of Sydney FC fans are freaking out. And I think I don't think if I was a Sydney FC fan, I think maybe because Sydney FC are obviously sort of slipping down compared to what they were last season, but I think that's still okay. Any chance of a Wales goal? Yeah, maybe. Saints fan says, I hope victory win against Vissel Kobe in the Asian Champions League. It'll be a tough test for them. That's for sure. But they could sneak in. Sydney FC play their preliminary round game against Kaya. I can't remember the full team name. Kaya FC. Philippines team. They play that in a couple of weeks' time. And then, the victory qualifier as well. And then the campaign gets underway in April, I'm pretty sure. City Perth predictions. I'll let you know after this game. I'll let you know after this game because the results and performances always dictate it. Here's a free kick for Western. Far post as Garuccio heads it back for Wales in the box, looking to place it. That was probably heading goalwards. Aspro heads it out for a corner. Who's winning? 0-0, as you can see from the scoreboard here on the Watchalong. Chuck says, why did Lecky, of all players, have to score? Why are you upset that Lecky scored, of all players? I feel like from a Socceroos, from like an Australian national team point of view, if you want anyone to score, it probably is Lecky. Oh, as in who's going to win tonight? I'm still back in a 0 draw. I'm still back in a 0 draw. Here we go. Neil Kilkenny corner for Western. Sends it deep. Rennie Crin. Away by Latchman. Collie collects. And he's not going to pick up the foul. Risdon keeps it alive. Dude, Josh Risdon is having such a good season. And it's still on for Western. Wales taking on Oxborough. Far post. Headed away by Ossa. Still there for Previc. Goal kick. Little bit all over the place there. Ivan says, South Melbourne get admitted into the A-League and we get the derby we've been talking about for over a decade between South and Victory. Shush says, who do you think will be premiers this season? Who do I think will be premiers? That is an easier question to answer than champions. Champions is always, anyone's guess, but premiers, honestly, like the way it's going, could be Western. Could well be Western. They're just playing the way they're playing. They could just easily... just if they keep getting these 1-0 wins, then yeah, they're gonna go all the way. Whereas Melbourne City, the other challenges have just been just a little bit inconsistent. They've been leaking goals. But a team like West United performing the way they are could be premiers. And here is Dylan Parias looking to get forward. He's brought down. Free kick. Callum Timmins, the judge, to bring down Dylan Parias. It was a risky tackle. Is it a card? It might be a card. Perth Glory players are complaining. It might be a card. I think it's a card. Let's have a look at this challenge. Was it? Oh, yeah, I don't know if he got the ball, did he? I don't know if Timmins got the ball here. Maybe he did. Maybe he got his studs to it. Still, it was a heavy challenge. Mariners for life. You got to do fan interviews after the Raw game against Raw the next game. I can confirm, yeah. And again, there's a bit of an exclusive for you guys here. Anyone going to the Mariners game next week? We're doing fan interviews outside the stadium after the game. Free kick West United, though. Josh Risdon, header over the bar. So next Saturday, the coming Saturday, Central Coast Mariners, Brisbane Roar, 5:05 p.m. kickoff at Central Coast Stadium. We're doing fan interviews on the park outside the stadium following full time. So if you're going to be at the game, get down, have a chat, have your say. Hitchies in the chat says, hi, Lockie. Keep up the great content. Thanks, man. Question, do you think the postponed F3 derby gets moved to a weekend game so more travelling fans can make it and bring some awesome atmosphere coming from a Jets fan? Hitchy, that makes absolute sense, but I tell you right now, they won't do it. Chance for Perth Glory, corner. Hitchy, I don't think they'll do it. Look at, just recently they scheduled in a Mariners game and there's going to be a doubleheader. They're also playing a Newcastle-Wellington game. And they put the Mariners, it's Mariners Victory. They put the Mariners Victory game, it's on a Wednesday. They put the Mariners Victory game at 5 o'clock. And they're playing the Newcastle-Wellington game at 7:45 at the primetime slot, which would it would just make so much more sense to put the Mariners game there. It's a Mariners home game at their own stadium. Give them the slot. They're just playing Wellington Jets there just so they can have a stadium and it's easy to play it in one stadium. Just play that earlier. I don't get why they're doing the Mariners game. I've already had people message me and comment saying that they won't be able to make the game because it's at a crap time. So some of the scheduling has been a bit, bit fascinating. So yes, that makes sense. You'd love the rescheduled F3W to be on a weekend, but I just can't see it happening. I don't think they can too. They don't really want to. It'd be tricky to pluck out a weekend fixture and then, I guess it makes it a bit more tricky for me. Chuck says, remember the name Nestori Irankunda making his top flight debut at 15, scoring 2 by 16. Dude, he is certainly one to watch. He's certainly one to watch, eh? 20 minutes into this game, and Western playing a little bit better. Probably the better side out of the two, creating the better of the chances. Perth Glory yet to really mount anything. Another foul given away by Perth, and they're frustrated. Western take it quickly. It's Lockie Wales down the right, cutting infield. Latchman, dude. Daryl Latchman. Solomon asks, where can I watch the game? If you're in Australia, you can watch on Paramount Plus. Streaming service Paramount Plus. Do you know where Noosaville or Noosa Heads is? I do. It's up on... is it in New South Wales or Queensland? Isn't it just north coast of New South Wales? Or Queensland? Am I thinking of something else? Noosa. yeah. It's like up past Byron Bay, isn't it? I could be wrong. Chris says, although postponements have made things difficult, I still don't think the scheduling has been good enough. I don't know what else I could do, though, right? I don't know what else I can do. Like, they're scheduling a lot of Wednesday games, a few Tuesday, Thursday games here and there. I don't like how they're scheduling Wednesday games for 5 o'clock. It's sort of, it just feels weird, you know? But I don't know what else do you do, right? I mean, the only other option is to extend the season out a few weeks. And I don't know if they want to do that either. Because then obviously pushes the final series back. Lockie Wales, involved early in this game. He's all over the place too. Is he playing left wing? He's playing left wing, but he's all over the place. In a good way. That's a good thing. He's getting involved everywhere. Western looking to work it down the right-hand side. Good to see a Central Coast lad doing well as well. Lewandowski for the Mariners. Can you imagine? So we can get more goals. Well, maybe Lewandowski would be the answer to the Mariners' woes at the moment. I'm sure he would be. His colleague down the left for Glory. Oxborough. Rawlins. Western United set up their shape. Can Perth Glory penetrate? Timmins. Oxborough. Kasike Otta. The problem for Glory is that they just don't have enough danger players. They don't have creative players. They've really lacked Diego Castro this season. They've missed him big time. Sardinero came in, but he's been out for the last few weeks. And before that, he wasn't looking very good anyway. The only reason why they're not bottom of the ladder is because of Bruno Fornaroli and guys like Daryl Latchman in defence as well. But aside from that, they are a weakened side, aren't they? Jack Clisby down the left. Is that a handball? Oh, here's drama. I think it came off his... If it did hit his arm, I think it might have hit his arm, Lacroix there. But I think it came off his leg and then hit his arm. Therefore, it wouldn't be, right? Western are going to counter-attack here. Lockie Wales. Wow. I don't think it was a handball, though, was it? Lockie says, it's hard to go to matches on school days past 6:30. That's the thing, right? Like, a lot of... And I mentioned it in a tweet yesterday. I said, with the Mariners game being scheduled at 5. Like, so many of people, fans that attend Mariners games, and I'm sure it is the same for other games around the country, so many families, so many kids, and they make up a really, big proportion of the numbers, that demographic that comes to games. And these midweek games that, actually regardless of what time it is, a midweek game, you're going to miss out on those numbers, man. So, yeah, it's disappointing, eh? It's disappointing. Thoughts on the Jets penalty yesterday? Handball by Lockie Rose, yeah. It was a handball by Lockie Rose. Lockie Wales wrestling with Rawlins down that left wing. So, look, if you're a Perth Glory fan, I don't know how you feel about your side, man. I don't know how to feel about this side. Like, there isn't much going on there, is there? Previc for Wales. Western United come at them. The cross is going to miss everyone. Okay. When is Daniel Sturridge back? We don't know. He did pick up the injury just a few days ago on Wednesday against MacArthur FC, so he could be out for a few weeks. Hopefully he's back sooner than later, eh? Hopefully sooner than later. Oh, dude, yeah, the celebration from Minkle Tadzi was fantastic, wasn't it? It was awesome. If you guys haven't checked out, check out the video, the footage of Becca's celebration. Nikolai Topor Stanley. What a name, too. He's just like an iconic A-League name. Topor Stanley. I feel like everyone knows the name, don't they? He's just been around forever. But just back on Perth Glory, man. I mean, they're playing Jack Clisby, a left back, as a winger. Bert Gilroy, who really is more of a fullback anyway, a wing back, as a right midfielder. And as you can see, it really is just like a 4-1-4-1 sort of formation. Dude, if I'm a Perth Glory fan, I'm screaming out for change. I don't know about Richard Garcia. I think we were talking about it earlier. I think it was Football State who was criticising Richard Garcia. And yes, while they have been defensively very strong, I mean, it is because of this shape that they play. It's hard to break down. West United are trying to do it again here. Collie goes over the tackle on Parias. Parias gets her around. Timmins wins it. They just don't look dangerous when they attack Perth Glory if you watch their games. Here comes Rawlins. Now that I've said that, they're probably going to score. Now that I said that, they're probably going to go the other end and score after I just criticize them. Shadow says, Topper Stanley's goal 2 years ago was amazing. Dude, how good was that one for the Jets a few years back? It was an absolute pile driver, wasn't it? Okay, so here's where we see what Perth are made of here. They're working it down the left. Clisby looking to get him behind for Otter. Surely he's offside. Easy claim for. And look at Bruno. He's thrown his arms up. I feel for you, Bruno. I mean, think Bruno a few years ago was playing alongside the likes of what, like Aaron Moy, and who else at Melbourne City? And you know who he's playing with now? Jack Clisby. Bruno Fornaroli was tearing it up at Sydney with Aaron Moy, a Premier League footballer and a Socceroo. And you know who he's got now? He's got Mitchell Oxborough trying to team up. Oh, it's like no disrespect to the players, but it is funny. It is funny when you put it like that. Oh goodness. Shadow says, if Perth needed an attacking coach, Marco Bielsa left Leeds today. Can you imagine if he came to the A-League? That'd be awesome. That'd be cool. They simply don't have the players. I mean, I don't blame him. I think Richard Garcia's playing a system to suit the personality he's got. He has 37 fullbacks, so, you know. And, like, he's got so many fullbacks. Perth have so many fullbacks and so many defensive midfielders. When you look at Timmins, Oxborough, O'Neill, Ozzy Malik, Luke Bodnar, I mean, the list goes on. They've got too many defensive midfielders. And rather than building a decent team, they're like, nah, Daniel Sturridge. And that obviously hasn't worked out. I don't know why I don't know why I'm really having a dig at Perth Glory today. I don't mind them. I've got nothing against Perth Glory, but they are pushing now, trying to stop Western from playing out. They Josh Rowland plays it out. Oh goodness me. Oh, you're right, Shush. Clisby would have been playing with him at City. Good point. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot that Clisby played at City. You're right. Football podcast says, Lockie, the Jets next home game, I get to take a penalty at half time. For a second there, I almost read that as I get to take a penalty. I was like, wow. So if Jets win a penalty, they just... Imagine that. Imagine if that was a thing at football games. The team wins a penalty. They get to bring on a fan to take it. Truck made a bit earlier says, I hope Noon's goal gets the push case. I hope so too. Honestly. I still, like, I've got my opinions on Noon's goal. I think it's one of the greatest goals I've ever seen. And I'll say it. And again, I said it in last week's podcast, and it's slightly controversial. But I think Noon's goal is better than Garuccio's Scorpion kick. Yeah. Bryce says, surely not a Spurs fan. Yeah, bro. We got the shirt on. 15-16 home kit. Parias wins a free kick on the right wing. Collie brings him down. Collie's getting... Dude, I don't know why Collie's... Collie and Tim, they're throwing themselves into everything, these midfielders. Steven says, all the schools close tomorrow in Queensland because of the floods. Dude, and I hope all you guys tuning in from Queensland, because I know there's a bunch of you, hope you guys are staying safe, man, doing okay. All right, free kick here for Western, in by Kilkenny, towards Risdon, topper Stanley, and again, it sails over the bar. Ladies and gentlemen, 0-0, let's go. 0-0 all the way, here we go. We're past the half an hour mark in this game, and I think we've only seen one shot on target. I think that was the Dylan Paris chance. One shot on target, I reckon, between both teams. Yeah, man. Chuck says Lockie likes supporting teams that are allergic to trophies. Well, you're not wrong. I haven't seen many trophies in my lifetime. In my supporting, well, a few Premier's plates for the Mariners, one championship trophy. Pre-season cup, if you want to count that too. Okay. I just want Perth to do something, man. I want Perth to do something interesting. I want Jack Clisby to score a worldie or something, you know? I think it has been raining too in Launceston, so I don't know whether that makes a... yeah, I don't know whether that's making a difference. Shadow says, at least he's not a glory hunter. Well, I just picked my teams and stuck with them. So... here we go. Collie for glory. Bruno. Let's see what they can do here. Again, look at this setup for Western. It's almost 5 at the back now. It's Dylan Paris tucking back as well. So Perth with some good field position here. Oster on the left. He's going to go back for sure. Collie goes back. Trish says draw or Perth win will be great. Honestly, I mean, me being a Mariners fan, I'd probably prefer a Western win, just to sort of keep Perth down from my point of view. Hitchy asks, Lockie, if the league gave you the keys tomorrow, what would be some things you would change, bring back to build the league to get the excitement back? That is a massive question. That is a massive question, and I'd have to think about it for quite a while because off the top of my head, I'd bring in a few more teams. I'd get that happening as soon as possible. I'd be doing everything to make sure that Western United are building their stadium as soon as possible. I think they need to get that going. Here are Western attacking. It's Stephen Lustica. I'll come back to that question. He's looking to tee up Wales. Cleared away by Burke Gilroy. Dude, what else? I think what they're doing with social media is good. I think they could be doing more. Marketing. Just we need massive marketing plans. Marketing. What's the word I'm looking for? Campaigns. Especially during pre-season, just heading into a season to build things up. They did a good one this year. But really make it iconic. And do... oh! Wales almost sneaking into the far post. Western close again. I do a lot as well just to make the atmosphere at games as fantastic as possible. And again, there's so much into that. You know, how you set up the stadiums, what you have, what sort of gear you got in the stadiums. Just getting people to the grounds. The league is going to grow if we get fans to the grounds. That's going to be a catalyst for a lot of things. I genuinely believe that. Think back to the early 2010s. West City Wanderers rock up, and we're packing out Parramatta Stadium. Football was A-League was a different beast back then, man. And we can get back to there. We can get back to there. So like a lot of people talk about it, and about the A-League getting it, back to where it was, or making it more successful. There's a lot of negative talk around it at the moment. The one thing that we can do... pause that. Bruno Fornaroli's in the box here. Easy strike. Oh, what a chance. Free kick goes away of Western. I think it was Callum... no, it was Burke Gilroy here. Perth Glory probably with their best chance of the game there. Bruno... I think his shot was saved. His shot was saved. Going back... sorry, this is my point I was saying before. The one thing that we can do, and it's super simple, is go to the games. And buy memberships. I'm just sick of seeing this talk every week about low attendances and it's killing you, blah, blah, blah. Well, then it's up to us to go to games, to sign up to memberships, to invite people along and build the excitement for others too. Ooh, Previch has gone down there. A weird one. I don't know, that sounds like such a simple thing. And that's a massive reason why I started my podcast and everything, because I wanted to promote and provide more excitement for my team, the Mariners, and for the A-League in general too. We need people to take it more seriously. We need people to get excited about it. Have a reason to be excited about it, you know? Marty says, first thing would be to get rid of VAR in its current form. Look, I think it's clear now, especially after what happened last Tuesday, that, yeah, something needs to change. And honestly, I don't know what it is. I don't know maybe what they could do to shift it. I think maybe whether it just gets involved a whole lot less, right? I feel like there's a lot of instances where it does get involved. You know, when they say it should only be brought in for clear and obvious errors. There's a lot of times where they sort of get involved when they don't really need to. Anyway, here's Bruno Fornaroli for glory. Good challenge there. Is that Josh Risden again? Dude, Josh Risden, give him a Socceroos call-up, I swear. Dude, he's playing so well this season. My goodness. Ryan Grant got a call-up for the Socceroos, didn't he? Yeah, he did. He got, it was Fran Karacic and Ryan Grant with the two Socceroos. Goodness me, Josh Risden is miles ahead of Ryan Grant at the moment in terms of form. Here's Prijovic. Chance for Western. It's Topos Stanley in the box. It's Prijovic. It's 1-0. It's 1-0. Western have scored. Alexander Prijovic continues his fantastic form. And he does it again. Alexander Prijovic. Just boy says goal. Yeah, Shadow says goal. How good? Alexander Prijovic. Topos Stanley. He was the catalyst, wasn't he? It was sort of a weird one too. Oh, Perth just had to deal with that better. Oh, terrible. Jonathan Aspro. Terrible defending. Look at this. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's hilariously bad. He just like sticks out a leg and they just walk past him. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's the easiest goal Western will score, man. I was commending Perth's defense so much. But goodness me, that was bizarre. That was a weird goal. The Western are up 1-0. What are we saying? Chris, a little bit earlier, says that the 13-14 season average attendance was 13K. If we make the right moves, we can get back there and even further. Yes. Yeah, we will get back there. We will. We'll keep growing. Keep growing. Shush Clan says 1-0 Merchants, time to park the bus. Shadow says, what was Topo doing up there dribbling through the defense like Messi? It's incredible that it worked out too. I thought he was going to have a dig for a second as well, the way he was looking. Western United. Mariners for Life says, disappointing defending. Brock says, Perth just need to go back to HBF. Ball over the top for glory. Topper Stanley's there to cut it out, but it will be a corner. Good stuff. Good water. Perth is the hardest away ground for teams. Interesting take, Brock. I feel like going to maybe like a packed Amy Park victory away would be tough. Back in when the old Parramatta Stadium packed RBB, that would have been a tough game for away teams as well. But look, again, just on that conversation we were having a little bit earlier regarding the attendances and everything, I agree with you, Chris. We definitely can get back there. Corner for glory. Aspro almost making amends at the other end. His header goes over the bar. That was a good chance. It's maybe Glory's best chance of the game. Jonathan Aspro. But so far, Perth need something different in attack. They're simply not looking creative. They're not looking very creative. They're not a dangerous side. I don't know what it is. Western United, of course, are doing a good job of nullifying them. I mean, it's very hard to be effective in an attacking sense when you're playing Western United. Shadow says, yeah, the Jets never beat Perth in Perth. All right, Western United with the ball in a decent area. Good chip for Prijovic. Chance Western. Down for Wales. Cleared away by Colley, and that's surely a foul it is. Ooh, like he says, come on, Perth. Can the Glory Boys do it? Can the Glory Boys do it? We've got 5 minutes to go in this first half. Can the Glory boys rescue back a goal? Which would be big, because they don't want to. Otherwise, Western will set up and control that second half if they maintain this first half lead. But who's it going to be for Glory, man? I mean, is it going to be anyone other than Bruno Fornaroli? I don't know why Daniel Steins isn't starting. I think he's fantastic. Who else have they got on the bench again? A few defensive options for Glory, I think, on the bench, wasn't there? Shadow says, Perth need a winger. They got 3 strikers, a lot of fullbacks, and a lot of centre mids. Nick, that reminds me, Nick Fitzgerald is on the bench, and he's been starting the last few games. But again, is Nick Fitzgerald the answer? Yeah. Lockie says Lockie Wells didn't deserve the Olyroos in the Olympics. Didn't reserve a spot, I assume you mean, in the Olyroos. I think he did. I think Lockie Wales has been on an upward trend in the last few years. And he was okay. I thought he was good in the Olympics. It's a shame that the Olyroos didn't have a better campaign in the Tokyo Olympics. Same for the Matildas, of course. Jeez, it feels like a while ago now, wasn't it? Well, it was. What was that? 10 months ago? Not even that. 8 months ago? All right, we are getting closer and closer to half-time here. And Western United still looking like the stronger team. I mean, they're playing like they are a top 2 side. Looking for more goals here. Dylan Parias taken on Otzar. Gets the ball in. Here's a chance. Perth cleared away. Liam ready. Western look to come back again. Shadow says Fitzgerald has a run of 3 or 4 games where he looks like the best player in the league. Then he doesn't do much else for the rest of the season. Yeah, he's not really a star signing. They brought him in the recent transfer window. It didn't really work out. Great move from Western. Here's Dylan Parias in again here. He's been causing havoc on the right-hand side. It's back for Lustica. It's saved by Reddy. Julian says Zlatan Ibraprijevic. I like it. It looks a bit like him, doesn't he? With the bun and everything. Yeah. Like he says, maybe one more for United, but come on, Perth. Glory. What's some good Glory chance, man? What's some good Glory chance? I've never been over to an away game in Perth. Would love to get there, man. Would love to get there. Glory, Perth, glory. glory, Perth, glory. Is that actually one? That wouldn't actually be one, would it? That wouldn't actually be one, surely. Perth in possession late in this first half. How productive will they be with it? That's the question. Jack Clisby. Moving the ball forward. Collie on the left. Ball in for Bruno Fornaroli. Good control. He opts to go across to Rawlins. Here's a chance for Perth Glory. 4 players in the box, teeing it up. Rawlins, the delivery is not finding a player, finding a teammate. It's finding Jamie Young. That's who it's finding. Shadow says Perth have that one chance. Yeah, when the keeper's taking the goal kick. What was it? You fat bastard. You fat bastard. Your shit. Ah. Oh, man. Iconic, isn't it? The shed. I miss the shed, man. I miss seeing the shed on TV. A packed shed. Yeah, man. What away days have I been to? Amazingly enough, this might surprise people, I have never been to an away day outside of New South Wales. So, yeah, Newcastle, a lot of the Sydney away games, the old Parramatta Stadium and the newer one, Combank Stadium, for a lot of Wanderers games. Haven't gotten down to a Macarthur game yet. Macarthur away day. And a lot of regional ones. Mudgee. We're in Mudgee for pre-season. Here's a chance. Sorry, not pre-season. FFA Cup early this season. Of course, Mariners going back to Mudgee in a few weeks. Hoping to do A few more away days this season, of course. Mariners have games. Away games, I'll have another one in Western Sydney. Parramatta. Mariners have another away day in Newcastle. Of course, Mudgee, which is technically a home game. Brisbane. Maybe away day in Brisbane. That'd be fun. All right. 1 minute of added time here, so there's only 30 seconds to go. Western down the line for Piraeus. Colley's there to cut it out. Still, Perth struggling to break out. Again, Western win it. It's Kilkenny. Former glory, man. It has to be said, of course. He doesn't win the corner. I thought it was a corner. Kilkenny's not happy. And that might just be it for the first half. Western United, I think, just really showing their class. Nullifying Perth Glory, not giving them any chances. Not that Perth Glory got the quality to create any good clear-cut chances, but it was Alexander Previc who took the chance when it fell to him. Some poor defence at the back for Perth Glory, and that is half-time in Launceston. Perth Glory 0, Western United 1. What did you guys make of that half? Is there any way back for Perth Glory, a team who have a tough midweek trip on, I believe, Tuesday or Wednesday? I think it's a Wednesday. Perth Glory go to Melbourne City before heading back home to Western Australia. Interesting game. Shadow says, how far away is Mudgee for you? Mudgee's like a 4-hour drive from the Central Coast. 4-hour drive. So, it's all right. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Oh, halftime cup of tea, did someone say? Let's get the kettle boiled. All right. So. Shadow says that half was pretty much all Western United. It really was. I mean, Previc now 5 goals in the A-League so far this season. He's a man who could be catching up with the guys at the top of the Golden Boot race. Sorry if you can hear the kettle in the background that's currently boiling. But yeah, really solid half from Western United. Previc already with a goal, 3 shots so far this game. And this is a chance at the moment. In the last few weeks, the top 2 positions have been City and Western who are jousting each other out for it. So, but at the moment, look, I can't see Perth winning this game. I think it's very unlikely that they'll win. They could sneak a draw, but I think Western United should be too strong in the second half. Connor, how's it going? Connor's in the chat, asks, do you think the Raw can win on Monday night against Victory? I think it's very unlikely, unfortunately, Connor. I know you're a Brisbane fan because you got the Raw logo there. But honestly, I think it's very unlikely. I think it's very unlikely, especially now that the game, they're now playing it in Melbourne. They're playing it, the reverse fixture in Melbourne. So, I mean, a decent crowd, hopefully, for that Monday night fixture at Amy Park. But man, I can't see Brisbane winning. I'm sorry. Like, Brisbane have just been really lackluster this season. At home, they've been good, but away from home, they've just been very, very poor. And Victory should have enough quality to win. It'd be an upset if Brisbane did win. They could, but I think it'd be an upset. But yeah, halftime is a good time to get in the chat. Let's have a discussion. What do you guys make of the game so far? We've seen, 3.5 games so far in the A-League this weekend. Of course, there was meant to be a simultaneous game kicking off at the same time. Wanderers Phoenix. Game got rained out. And they actually postponed it yesterday. Like, they made the call yesterday, which I was kind of surprised by. Because, look, I'm on the Central Coast, which is an hour or so north of Sydney. But it's been a little bit rainy here today. It's not like it's been bucketing all day. Yeah. Connor says, nah, man, we'll slap it. Aldred back, Rio off the bench. We should put up a fight. Look, dude, we'd love for Brisbane to get a result. And Brisbane are missing Tom Aldred so much. They really, really are. Rio Wada, like, I'm interested to see how he goes. If you look at his record, it's not that great. Like, I think he's only played, like, just over 30 games in Japan. And he's only scored a few goals. So it's interesting to bring in an overseas player who barely has any experience. But, again, he could tear it up in the A-League, maybe. Maybe this is the place where he clicks. Just think back to the last Japanese player they had was Ricky Danzaki. How good was he? So maybe Rio Wada will be the key. Connor Chapman. Is Connor Chapman going to be in the team as well for Brisbane? Connor Chapman. So look, if Aldridge back in, if they can get Connor Chapman involved, that's a stronger Brisbane Roar side. Shadow says, I'm pretty sure the rain affected Comex Stadium's drainage. Interesting. There, of course, has been some heavy rain in New South Wales. I know in Queensland, I mentioned earlier. Thinking of anyone who's tuning in from Queensland, hope you guys are staying safe. Southeast Queensland, I think it is, isn't it? Hey, let's make a cup of tea. Also, we have I don't know how well it's coming up here on the live watch along stream, but we have the I'll pull out the lineups for a second here. I don't know if you can see, you got the coloured lights there. How's that looking? Sort of see it, purple and green, of course, to match the teams. Of course. Connor says we are flooded in up here, dude. It's hectic stuff. I'm hearing a lot of that, and I've got relatives up there as well. Yeah, man. Hopefully it clears off soon. It's crazy stuff. Don't think he's going to be in the squad. Connor Chapman. Gianluca says, hey, look, I'm happy with the first half. Yeah, man, if you're a West United fan, absolutely. Stats are on the screen. 4 shots for Glory, only 1 on target. 13 shots for Western, 4 on target. Interestingly enough, Perth Glory, 61% possession. But, of course, Western are happy to set up their blocks. Let the other team have possession. But Perth Glory haven't been productive with that possession at all. Almost double the passes for Perth. Well, not quite double, but a lot more passes for Perth Glory. Over 100 more passes for Perth Glory this game. More possession. Interesting, eh? Yeah, the halftime cuppa says Mariners for life. That's right. And we've got another team here. We've got my NFL team that I follow. San Francisco 49ers. It came very close to the Super Bowl this year. Gianluca says, what are your thoughts on Kryn so far this season? This is his first start, I think, isn't it? So we really haven't seen too much of him, but we're getting a good look of him in this game and is slotting in nicely. He hasn't made any crazy mistakes. Looks like to be a solid option there in defensive midfield. And look, it's interesting to see, like, when Diamante, how's Diamante going to fit into the side now? Like, I don't know if you're going to play him. I don't know if you're going to start him, man. Because if you can play Rennie Kryn and Kilkenny as the 2 holding midfielders, then as you can see in the lineup here, Lustica is that number 10. I mean, those are 3 very, very good midfielders, and if they can get it going. What tea do I have in the cup? Good question. It is. Check it out. I'll show the label. There we go. It's goodness me. Why can't I hold that up properly? Pure chamomile tea from Twinings. Not sponsored. Dude, I'd love if I was sponsored by a tea company. How cool would that be? Shadow says, I don't see Perth breaking down Western's defense in the second half. I agree. And they don't really have the weaponry. They don't really have the personnel on the bench, the attackers, to make it happen. Perth Glory. At the stadium right now, they're showing some shots outside the stadium, and there's just like a farm of cows. It's so good. All these farms. Oh my gosh. How good. Country Australia. I can't beat it. Alex says, when going forward, you're really good, but going backwards, a big gap that needs to be filled. Oh, sorry, Alex, I just saw your earlier comment. It says, hey, mate, I know it's not about this game, but what I know from another fan about Central Coast Mariners is that you have a massive gap in the middle of the pitch. When going forward, you're really good, but massive big gap that needs to be filled. I think probably that's probably down to, especially in that second half, especially when Mariners were maintaining that lead, didn't want to commit that too many numbers forward. So we had the likes of Benny Cololo, Cummings, and Areni going forward. And the midfielders, the likes of, as Nisbet and Bozanic weren't too often getting involved in attack. So, look, it's a fair observation. All good, Dr. Dingus. Good to see you in here. Gianluca says 3 key players out, Payne, Diamante, and EMI. I'm not complaining, though. I love Paris. Yeah, Paris has been very good. This game. He's been causing havoc. He's been everywhere. But Alexander Prijovic, his stats on the screen now. 1 goal, 10 touches, 3 shots. It's good stuff. Tomoki, I'm surprised that Tomoki Yuma's not playing. I thought he would have started ahead of Topper Stanley, but yeah. Josh Risdon, though. Again, I want to talk about Josh Risdon. I know I keep going on about him. But I think he's the best right back in Australia right now. I think he's the best right back in the A-League right now. He's just been superb, and I think should be called up for the Socceroos ahead of Ryan Grant next month. What do you guys make of that? Big call or what? Big call or what? Josh Risdon. Josh Risdon for the Socceroos. Stanley says, who would you put your money on winning the top of the table between City and United? You know what? I'm going to say United. I mean, if you want to look at their matchups, City and United, they've already played twice this season. United have won both. 1-0. It's pretty impressive. I think United, honestly, at this rate, are going to win the Premiership, but I think maybe City might win the Championship. I think City might win the Championship. But I think Western, on the Staney, to answer your question, just the Premiership come the end of the season, I think Western United will finish first this year. Dingo says, is Tilio still your favourite player? I love that you remembered that after this Central Coast Mariners City game. Yeah, I still love watching Marco Tilio play, man. Okay, so you guys agree with the Josh Risdon call. Connor says agree. Shadow says the right call. Lusika has been so good this season. Says Gianluca, he's been superb. Fantastic. Josh Risdon. Sorry, not Josh Risdon. We were talking about Josh Risdon, but Stephen Lusika. Connor says Australia need him if they're going to qualify for the World Cup. Agree with Risdon for the Socceroos, says Gianluca. Sure says Atkinson and Karacic are better. I'd still go. I mean, I know Atkinson would be a decent option, and you know, seeing his move to Hearts, it is natural to think that. But just, I mean, you know what you're getting from Josh Risdon. I mean, Josh Risdon played at our last World Cup, man. CJ says another 1-0 incoming. Lol, I think so, man. I think so, CJ. I think so. Dingo says Atkinson is gone, but is probably getting better than Risdon considering his age. Oh, look, Atkinson has got like it could go anywhere with his career, man. I mean, it's great that he's over there in Europe, in Scotland, and if he tears it up, man, hopefully he just keeps stepping up and up to a higher level. If he keeps going, you know, we'd love to see, as always, we'd love to see Australian players play in the Premier League, and there's a long way for Atkinson to go. I'm not saying that he is a Premier League player by any means right now, but considering his age and what we've seen from him in Australia, I mean, he's got potential, so much potential. That's so much potential. All right. So second half is around the corner, and this is a test for Perth Glory to see what they're made of, man. See what they're made of. They did it against the Central Coast Mariners a few weeks ago. Grabbed that late equaliser. Daniel Steins off the bench. I think Steins has to come off the bench. I think Fitzgerald has to come off the bench. Maybe bring Burt Gilroy back to right back. Take off Rawlins. Maybe Jack Clisby to come off of Fitzgerald, man. Some more attacking players, you know. Foul on Dan Hall for Adelaide's first goal yesterday. I don't know, man. I'm not convinced. I mean, at the time we did a watch along for it, and if you see my reaction, I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I'm saying that as a Mariners fan, man. Gianluca says, do you think Western have the best fullback pairing in the league? Yes. Right now, yes. Like, on form, yes. Yeah. And if you compare it to the other sides, I mean, victories are good. Jason Guerrier and Jason Davidson are fantastic. Cities have just been chopping and changing. I mean, Jamison's missed the last few games. Scott Galloway's good. You know, Carl Jenkinson's been playing a few games there, so... I mean, it is these guys because they've just been playing every game, haven't they? Or almost every game, I think, these guys. I think Ben Garucio's only missed one game. I think Josh Richardson played every game. So I'm trying to think of other teams who have some good partnerships. I mean, Joel King's left Sydney FC now. So, yeah. Ben Garuccio, Josh Risdon. Well done. John Aloisi, I think Ben Garuccio was John Aloisi's first signing at Western United too. And that's a smart piece of business. I mean, I remember Garuccio last season was at Melbourne City and was a bench player. He was a bench player. He was playing behind Scotty Jamison at Melbourne City last year. So well done. Well done, John Aloisi, picking up Garuccio, getting him back into regular A-League football. And it's working. It's working. The interesting thing, though, I mean, we're talking about Western United and their ability to probably win the Premiership this year. I'm just very fascinated to see how they're going to go in a final series. Very fascinated to see how they're going to go in the final series against, you know, in big games against Melbourne Victory, against Melbourne City. I think the one game where Western United have been slightly below par was in that 3-1 loss against Melbourne Victory, which I think was Boxing Day. They were I think they were outplayed on that day, and they looked second best throughout that game. So look, games like that, big finals games at a packed Amy Park, it's going to be interesting to see whether this Western United team that has been put together this season by John Aloisi can do it against the best teams in the competition. Shadow says, when Western United announced Aloisi's coach, I laughed at it. Look, I think a lot of people raised a lot of eyebrows. Certainly raised a lot of eyebrows. So yeah. Shadow says, now I'm eating humble pie. Look, he's got it working at the moment. They're showing the live ladder, and this win, of course, this result will take Western to the top of the ladder. Not only to the top of the ladder, but with a game in hand against City. Over City. That's big, man. So Western win this, then they have a game in hand to even extend that lead even more past over 3 points. Julian says, really starting to believe in Aloisi. Dude, if you're a Western United fan, you should be stoked right now. You should be so keen. This is the strongest they've looked across their... What's this? Their third year, sorry. Isn't it? Third year now for Western, isn't it? Third year. So teams are out of the tunnel for the second half in Launceston. Liam Reddy has had to make a few saves in that first half. Will his side be able to get back in the second half? Richard Garcia, man. I mean, this is... You're down at halftime. You're down at halftime. You need to come back in the second half. What is Richard Garcia made of? What is Richard Garcia going to do? Is there any changes? We're going to keep an eye if there's any changes to the lineups. Keep an eye on Perth Glory, especially whether they've made any changes. They're underway. We're underway here. Both these teams, of course, coming off the back of midweek games, so maybe just resting some legs might be in the minds of the two coaches. But to my eyes, it looks like there are no changes to either side. Okay. Ooh, Shadow says, do you think Stages will come back to the league next year? I think it's a possibility. And if you look at some coaches that may be under pressure, I mean, if Sydney FC don't finish finals, maybe there's pressure on Corica. The Stages go to Sydney FC. If Rudin doesn't work out at Wanderers this year, the Stages go to Wanderers. You know, who else is there? Maybe Perth Glory, if Rich Garcia leaves anytime soon. Maybe Brisbane Roar. I think Warren Moon is struggling a little bit at the moment. Western United looking to attack early in the second half. Perth Glory. Look, credit to Perth Glory. Like, they're not... Overall, the defense has been solid enough. It's not like they're leaking goals left, right, and centre. All right. But yeah, man, those substitutions that I mentioned earlier, we got to see them happen. Got to get Fitzgerald on there, got to get Daniel Steins on there. Just more attacking thrust for Glory, right? Surely. Looks like the rain is holding off in Tassie. Looks pretty clear. Even just formation-wise, I think I'm not a fan of this formation that Glory's playing. Shadow says, I heard a commentator talk about Papas to Wanderers rumour and I was very angry. Really? Who said that? Where'd you hear that? I didn't hear that one. Do you know who it was that said it? I'd have to look into that. Dude, surely not, right? Like, that would just be the ultimate. Like, it already is a massive meme. Collie has brought down Parius yet again. I feel like this keeps happening. Is Collie on a yellow card yet? I feel like he's made so many challenges. Given away so many fouls. But Papas, dude, yeah, that already is a meme, the whole Jets Wanderers thing. So, I don't know, dude. I don't know if I believe that. Surely not. Oh, it was like a fortnight ago? I reckon it's just a rumor. I don't think it's anything more than that. It'd be a weird decision. It'd be a weird decision for Wanderers to do that again. And look what happened last time they pinched a coach from Newcastle Jets. That didn't work out, did it? Carl Robinson was doing good at Jets too. He should have stayed. Carl Robinson should have stayed at the Jets for another year or two. Marcus says, Aloisi got backed by the Western board, or at least seemed like it. Yeah, man. They brought him in. Knew he had A-League experience. At Melbourne City /Heart. At Brisbane Roar. And they've brought in the right players. They've done well to know what players they want to have brought in. They've got a very strong system and setup. Here they come now. Ben Garuccio with a cross. It's going to go over the head of Parias. There's Riston. Lustica. Parias in the box. Strike. Blocked by Otter. Western on the attack. Sam's in here. How's it going, Sam? Are you catching this game? Are you catching the game, Sam? We're just a few minutes into the second half. Western maintaining a 1-0 lead. Ben Garuccio. Ooh, Perth. You can see Perth Glory. So many numbers in the box. Western still on the front foot, though. Lockie Wales. Lockie Wales has been good, man. He's been very good. Both wingers have been good. Wales and Parias for Western. Shadow says, when you look at Aloisi's record as a Brisbane coach, it's actually very good. I couldn't tell you his record off the top of my head, but there you go. Julian says, at home games, after the end of the match, sometimes I always try to get a photo with Aloisi, but he leaves to his press conferences, so I'm never able to get a photo with him. Maybe next week, Julian. Maybe next week. Mitch Oxborough in defensive midfield for Perth Glory, working hard, as always. All right, Perth Glory, as we saw in the halftime stats, 61% possession. I imagine it'll be much of the same in the second half, but much of it has just been this, just knocking around in the back. And Western United are so happy with that. It's exactly what Western United want. They don't care. They don't care if you've got possession of the ball. I honestly, I mean, this is the story of the game, man. And if they break it, then it's going to be really interesting. But I'd be very surprised if Perth Glory go on to score a goal at all in this game. I don't think Perth Glory score at all in this game. They're coming down the right-hand side. They're totally going to score now that I said that. And it's going to be a corner for Perth Glory. Well done, Bert Gilroy. Alpex says, come on, Perth Ferris, for the love of God. Brock says, I hear Moreton Daily Stadium is flooded. Like, people can swim in it. Dude, I've seen some crazy footage on social media of people swimming in, like, AFL fields and stuff. It's crazy. Sam says, nah, man, just got home from work, watching you react to the game. Don't feel like watching much A-League after the stoppage time goal. Yeah, man. I don't blame you. Here we go. So it's going to be a Glory corner here. They almost scored from a corner in the first half. Aspro. Left foot of Kesuke. Otta. Lacroix heads away. Bruno Fornaroli. Strike is blocked. Still on for Glory. What can they do? Here's the man they want. Bruno Fornaroli. Oh, free kick. Neil Kilkenny brings down Bruno on the edge of the box. It is out to the side. It's not directly in front at all. It's out wide. But it was just outside the box, of course. But Bruno Fornaroli, let's... oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a foul. He clipped him. Well done, Bruno. Just drawing the foul there. He knew exactly what he was doing. That was the plan. Now, Collie stands over the free kick, as does Jack Clisby. Collie might go for goal here. Rubbish. Absolutely pathetic. That was rubbish, man. You have a free kick. Bruno Fornaroli wins a free kick in a fantastic position, and Collie does that? Come on, man. A-League stand. You guys are professionals. Play like professionals. You can't be making deliveries like that. I'm not even a Glory fan and I'm getting upset. Jordiano Collie. Step it up, son. Not that I could do any better. Don't get me wrong. But come on. I thought he was going to go for goal, and I thought he was going to go for a goal, maybe Jack Cleese, or to tee it up for a teammate, obviously. Two options, obviously. He did neither. He literally went in between both options and just played it out of play. Oh, hilariously bad. Fornaroli should... I agree, Shadow. If Bruno had taken that, he probably would have scored from there. He probably would have scored from there, yeah. Brock says, didn't Kilkenny play for Perth Glory? He did indeed, yeah, Kilkenny. Played for Perth, played for Melbourne City before that. West United's next 5 home games are on the screen here. They've got Jets at home, Sydney away, And then Melbourne City home and Melbourne Victory away. So a couple really interesting games against the Melbourne teams. Keeping up for those ones. And then at the end of March, away to Brisbane Roar. So there's 2 Melbourne games. I mean, Western should be able to beat Jets at home. Travelling away to Sydney is always an interesting one. 1-1 draw the last time those two guys played it in Sydney, but of course Western beat them just during the midweek. Those 2 Melbourne games will be really interesting for Western. I'm very fascinated to watch those 2. Okay, Perth Glory are finding some space here with a quick counter attack. Bruno Fornelli down the left. Risdon, give him the cap, man. Oh, Josh Risdon's flown in. He might have won the ball, but he took out Fornelli and picked up a yellow card. Oh my God. Josh Risdon did not hold back with that challenge. Look at this. Bruno Fornelli cutting inside. Josh Risdon initially wins it. And then Josh Risdon's like, nah, boom. Oh, he didn't even touch the ball. Josh Risdon didn't even touch the ball. It's a blatant yellow card. That's hilarious. Zago's not happy about Perth Glory by the looks of things. What do you think needs to change, Zago? What do you think needs to change for Glory? 4th yellow card of the season for Josh Risdon, who's wearing the captain's armband, interestingly enough, for Perth Glory. Jack Clearsby delivers a free kick. This time it stays in play. Latchman at the far post. Timmins. Burt Gilroy again. Burt Gilroy finds the ball in the box and sends it to Hobart. Sends it to Hobart. Okay. I know, right, Brock? That was so... I don't know what's going on with Perth Glory right now. They get in front of goal and they just freak out. They just panic. But Burt Gilroy just sent it miles into the sky. Hey, Dominic says, let's go Western. Hope you've had a good weekend, Dominic. Thanks for jumping into the live stream. Risdon sliding tackles has ended badly. Remember the 2018 World Cup, says Marcus. Perth need to bring on Stein, says Shadow. I agree. And guys, of course, if you are enjoying the live stream, just letting you know, way you can show your support if you haven't done so already is you can hit like on this live stream, helps out a lot. Here's a chance for Western, 2-0. 2-0. Wow, what an attack. Wow, what an attack. Dylan Parias with the goal. What a run from Ben Garuccio. 2-0. Really good move from Western United. Shadow says decent goal by Western United. Goodness me, goodness me. Brock says 2-0. Jezza Boy says no. What a move. Starts with Kilkenny. Sees the run of Garuccio. Perth Glory, lazy. Rawlins doesn't track it. Lazy. Parias, easy goal. Clinical. Clinical. Well done, Ben Garuccio. Well done, Dylan Parias. This is a team who could win the premiership this season. We're seeing a team who could be winning the premiership this season. This is Western United. And they're up 2-0. They're not always up. They're not often up 2-0, man. They're on top of the ladder. They're not often up 2-0. They could keep going from here. Dylan Parias. Wow. Parias has been on fire, says Gianluca. What a move by Kilkenny, says Brock. Shush says, what is this defense doing? Why aren't they sliding? Holy Perth's terrible. Julian says, my boy Pierce, relegate them. Oh, mate, Perth, glory. If you're a Perth, who would be a Perth fan right now? Marcus says, how did Perez start his career as a right back? He's a cracking right mid and right wing. You're right. Started as a fullback at Melbourne City in the youth team. Didn't get much game time there. They're in again, Western. It's Alexander Privic. 1-1 with Latchman. Well done, Latchman. Wins the ball. We know how good Daryl Latchman is. It's called offside anyway. Wow. Ooh, Dominic. Big call. Dominic says, let's go. Is Western establishing at themselves as the best team? Honestly? Yeah. Why not? I mean, if they're top of the ladder for a reason. Western are top of the ladder for the reason. So they're the best team. City have been a bit inconsistent at times. At times this season. Yeah, for sure. Just going to wait until City versus Western again. I hope City win just so West United doesn't take over us. Yeah, dude, I mean, so we were talking about it just a few moments ago. So Western take on City for the 3rd time this season in a few weeks. That's a big game. That's a massive game because if Western win against City, then they have a big gap at the top. They have a big gap at the top, and I can't see Western aren't going to go on a run of losing games, man. We know that. So that's going to be a massive mid-season game in a few weeks' time against City. They've already played twice, and Western have won both 1-0. Really interesting stuff. Truth says there's no urgency in the defense. They let him run through. Dude, shocking defense by Josh Rawlins. Josh Rawlins knew that Garuccio was coming. He looked and was still jogging. And then the ball was played through, and Josh Rawlins was nowhere near him. Horrific defense from Glory, who pre-game I commended their defense. Heading into this game, two of the best defenses in the league. Obviously, Perth haven't played as many games. But goodness me, at the moment, it is Western United who are starting to flex their attacking muscles more than anything. And this is the game where they're doing it. They haven't really been able to do it that much this season. But 2-0 up, and there's still half an hour of football to play. And they're controlling things right now. They're controlling things. Alpex says Paramount is always like 20 seconds late for me, and I'm trying to make it as live as possible for the stream. Yeah, it's always tricky trying to sync it up, hey? I mean, always when you have streams online, whether it's, K or anything, there's always going to be a slight delay compared to, like, free-to-air. All right, Perth Glory. Now in the opposition half, but look, they'll go backwards again, and they'll knock it around, and they won't create anything. It's same possession stat still. Perth Glory, 61% possession. They're maintaining more of the ball. No foul on Jack Clisby. Play on. Goodness me. Where's Diego Castro? Man? They need him so bad. Come back, Diego Castro. The Perth fans are calling out. Right? Oh, I'm sorry, Perth Glory fans. Western come down the left again. It's Ben Garuccio again. This time the cross is blocked, but they've won a corner. Trishkan says I've skipped back to 15 seconds back in the stream, so we're at the same time. That's one way to do it. Hey, Dylan Wenzel-Halls is about to come on the pitch, potentially to replace Alexander Prijovic. We'll keep an eye on it. Rennie Crin's coming off. Rennie Crin is coming off. So that'll mean Lustica will shift back. Rennie Crin has had a relatively quiet game, but obviously contributing to the midfield battle. And Wenzel-Halls might play in that number 10 role just behind Prijovic. Dylan Wenzel-Halls is mostly coming off the bench this season for Western United. And there's going to be another change, is it, for Perth Glory? No, they're going to hold off. They're going to hold off the change. I think it was Mitch Oxborough who's going to come off. They got Brandon O'Neill on the bench, of course, though. Brandon O'Neill's on the bench, who might be the man coming on. Corner for Western United. Parias takes on Burke Gilroy. Gets the ball into the box. Lockie Wales back in. Cleared away by Fornaroli. So, Dylan Wenzel-Halls might even be playing on that left wing even. Looks like he's out on the left there. Wales in the middle. So Perth Glory still plenty of football to be played, so they can come back, and they're only down by 2. But still, man, I mean, defenses have been really. I feel like we talk a lot about defenses in the A League and leaky defenses a lot. Western United, we have to give credit to them, man. How good are they defensively? So consistent too. So strong in every game. They really haven't fallen apart at all in a game this season. They're so stubborn. Perovic gives away the foul. This might be the substitution now for Perth Glory. Updated lineup on the screen now. Wales to be playing that number 10 role. I know, right? Daniel Sturridge, dude. Sturridge has not had a good year, says Julian. It's rough, eh? Alpec says Castro better than Sturridge. Hey, multiple changes here for Perth Glory. Otter's coming off. Bramwell's coming on. Zimmerino's coming on for Perth Glory as well. Josh Rawlins is coming off. So multiple changes here. So we'll keep an eye on how Perth Glory are going to be lining up now with multiple changes being made. But look at this haircut, man. Look at this haircut from Zimmerino, man. It is unique. Looks like Bert Gilroy will slot it out right back. Zimmerino out on the left. Perth looking to attack here. Clisby. It's a very big cross, man. Jeez, misses everyone. So Brandon O'Neill is on the park for Perth Glory. That's an important substitution to make. If they're going to want to be a bit more effective and creative, Brandon O'Neill is going to get things started in the base of midfield. So that's the first change. So that's 3 changes. That's 3 changes in total for Perth Glory here. Oh, good ball down the right by Burke Gilroy. Bramwell's in behind. Here's Fornaroli in the box. Chance for Glory. Topper Stanley's holding him off. And it works out for Western. It works out for Western. Well, it was a great pass by Burke Gilroy to find Bramwell there. Fornaroli's just out-muscled. I mean that's maybe why they played Topper Stanley and Lacroix together. Because look at the height of those two guys compared to Bruno Fornaroli. Bruno Fornaroli is not a tall striker. They're just absolutely bossing him right now. Bruno's not having much joy today, is he? Is he? All right, Western. Oh, Jack Clisby cutting that one out. So it looks like Clisby's dropped back to left back as well. Zimmerino's playing on that left wing. So again, Perth Glory pulling their fullbacks, pulling the wingers rather back to the fullback positions. So it is a bit more of a, I guess, an aggressive change for Glory. So we'll get those changes updated on the screen in just a second. Of course, they made multiple changes, as we often see our league teams do. All right. What have the Glory boys got? What have the Glory's boys got, eh? They're probably thinking about how they're getting home in just a few days' time. Of course, I got that home game in Western Australia next week. Massive occasion for them, man. Massive occasion for them. Maybe that's just in the back of their minds, a distraction. Western United looking to spring forward here once again here. Garuccio working hard down that left wing. Chance for Western to control some more possession here. They can really boss the game out from here, Western. They really don't have to. They don't have to really go for it anymore. They can control things, get some more time on the ball. And just work and just tire Perth Glory out. That's really what they should do now. Just tire Perth Glory out. Make it a comfortable final 20 minutes or so for him. All right. So there we go. Updated Perth Glory lineup on your screens now. Julian says, is it just me or does Aloisi wear the same suit at every match? He probably does, you know. I think a lot of coaches do that anyway. Hey, Josh is in here. How's it going, Josh? Shadow says, I hope the league keeps this 5 subs forever. I think it's cool. I think it keeps the games lively. Okay, so you can see here Bramwell, Zimmerino in those wide positions for Glory. Burke, Gilroy, and Clisby back to the fullback positions. Brandon O'Neill replaced Oxborough in that defensive midfield position. Oh, Bruno's won the ball here. Here's a chance for Glory. Striker's going to go across the face of goal. Nervy stuff there for West United for a moment, as Bruno Fornaroli, who really has looked like Glory's only attacking outlet this game. That shot didn't find the target at all. Josh is stuck in the floods. Dude, sorry to hear that, man. Hope you're doing okay. Hope it clears up soon. Obviously, it's been crazy what's going on in Queensland. Shush says Perth needs subs immediately. They've been playing far too slow. Well, they've made 3. They've just made 3, so we'll see what these guys do. Zimmerino and Bramwell in the wide positions. I like Kieran Bramwell's a good player. Just keep an eye on him on the right-hand side. Zimmerino we haven't seen as much of. Ball given away by Timmins. Oh, dude. And he collides with Risdon. He just bounces off him, though. All right, Western could counter-attack quickly here. Moving the ball well, Western. Their ball movement's been really good this game, too. Finding the space and getting the ball to it. Shadow says that was Fornaroli's best chances. I reckon it was, too, eh? Good opening there. And you'd think a striker of his quality would have hit the target there, hey? Oh, Shadow, I'm just reading a comment from earlier. Zimmerino has the potential to be a cult hero with that new haircut. Yeah, for sure. Obviously, Ryan Grant's mullet was so iconic. Maybe Zimmerino's. I don't even know what you want to call that. It's like a little rat tail thing in the back. Hey, Perth, I'm moving forward here. Burke Gilroy's making a good run. Oh, it's a decent effort. Burke Gilroy has a dig from maybe 30 meters out. Doesn't hit the target. But that just goes to show, like that shot from Anthony Burke Gilroy just goes to show how out of ideas Perth Glory are. Like there was players around him out in wide positions and everything, and Burke Gilroy just sort of stops on it, takes a second, and just has a ping. Like, come on. And you're really going to beat Jamie Young from there? I mean... Yeah, it was a weird one. The Australia Cup A-League playoffs will be interesting, says Alpex. We've entered the final 20 minutes here in this game. Western, honestly, might be able to snatch the third here. But Perth Glory could make it interesting if they get one more. In just the last few minutes, they have been winning possession back, and they've done it again here. Here's the Marino. Loses out possession instantly. Bramwell's going to win it back. Timmins. You can see, like, what's going on here? Like, Sony plays essentially... Oh, my goodness. Sony plays essentially for Perth Glory. Bramwell's just come onto the pitch and he's walking. He's not even running to get into a dangerous position out wide. Long ball for Josh Risdon. Has got Latchman for company. Well done, Darryl Latchman. Has been very good tonight. Two more changes for Perth Glory. Darko Stanovic is going to make his A-League debut, and Daniel Steins is coming on as well. 2 final substitutions. Here's a chance for Western. Latchman with a block on Wenzel Hall's cross. Forward ball towards Bruno Fornaroli, who keeps it in play. Well done, Bruno. He's still going. And that has to be a foul, because I grabbed him. But Stanovic, and here we go, substitution to be made. So Perth bringing on some more ammunition here. Final 2 changes. Got no more subs to make after this. Glory. Stanovic is going to come on for Latchman, who I just said has been very good tonight. Stanovic. New signing they brought in January. Darko Stanovic. Wearing number 16. He's a left-footed central defender, Stanovic. Stanijevic, sorry, I should say. First involvement. Nice pass for Bramwell. Here's Perth with a chance on the right wing. Bramwell back for Steins. Daniel Steins long range strike. Good effort. Wasn't too far away. Left foot. Not bad. Not bad. Good introduction for both substitutes there. So Daniel Steins, who did he come on for? That's the question. It was either Collie or Timmins, right? It is Collie he did come on for. Oh, no, I was wrong. It is Timmins he came on for. So, updated Perth Glory lineup on the screen right now. Different lineup. They've emptied the bench. Stein, Zimmerino, Bramwell, O'Neill. Stanijevic at the back as well. Is this enough to change the game for Glory? No more substitutions to be made for Perth. Western still have 2 more windows to use. They can make a total of 4 more substitutions. Shush says, need a goal within the next 10 minutes. I think so, hey. Is Stanijevic a visa player? A good question, Shadow. I think he might have Australian ties. Ooh, given away here. Weston can come forward. Here comes Lockie Wales down the left. Previc is going to feed him. Well cut up by Burke Gilroy. Burke Gilroy's had a decent game. Burke Gilroy has had a decent game. A couple of good interventions. 2 best players today for Perth Glory. Burke Gilroy, Darryl Latchman. Only one of them still on the park, though. Perth Glory finding a bit more space. I mean, with Western United not really committing as many numbers forward. Getting better field position in the later stages of this game now as we enter the last 15 minutes. Oh, dude, they did it again. I hate how they always cut. They just cut to Richard Garcia on the sidelines, just doing nothing when the ball is in play. Like, I hate when they always do that a lot, Paramount Plus. They cut away from the action. If there's action happening, stay on it. I don't get it. And it happens every game. Just watch it. It happens every game. They'll cut away from the action. It's so weird. All right. Come on, Glory. Daniel Steins has space. Looking to chip it through. Decent ball towards Bramwell. He's in the box, Bramwell. Topper Stanley for company. Forced away. Great defense. Here it comes. What a save, Jamie Young. What a chance, Perth Glory. It's Zimmerino with a strike and Jamie Young with the reflexes. Wow, what a save. Wow, what a save. Perth's maybe best chance of the game so far. And it's still on. Bruno Fornaroli. Daniel Steins. Perth Glory have finally sprung into life here in the final 15 minutes. Zimmerino, what a save. Jamie Young. Shadow says big chance, that's right. Massive chance. Zimmerino, well done. He beats Risdon. Oh, poor decision making. The pass wasn't on. He went back in field. There's players in front of him. Still on for Perth here. So Western, they got the 2 blocks of 4 set up. It is Wales who is shifted out to the left. So Wenzel Hall's maybe playing a bit more centrally now. But we can, of course, expect these guys to rotate around. Long ball for Glory finds no one. It's going to be pressure's relieved there. But that was a great save by Jamie Young. And they're showing on the stats on the screen now. Jamie Young now top of the save stats. 42 saves. Jamie Young closely followed by Ollie Sale, Mark Birigidi, and Philip Coda, all on 40. All of those keepers on 40 saves. Stanijevic is a Australian citizen, says Alpex. There we go. I thought so. Here's Bruno Fornaroli coming in field. Here's Daniel Steins. Long range strike. Good effort. Just wide. Daniel Steins. Good impact so far. 2 good strikes that haven't been too far away. He's a good. I said it earlier, man. Got to be playing people like Daniel Steins. Yeah, bit more attacking endeavor from players like that, right? Daniel Steins, not too far away, man. Okay. Will there be another goal before full time? This has been classic Western United up to this point. Jerry Skatadis and Adisu Bayu preparing to come on for Western United. Fresh legs in attack and midfield. Here's Wenzel Halls. He's going to win out here. He's just going to lose it against Brandon O'Neill, though. Perth can work it away. Zimmerino goes down the line. Fornaroli. Colley continuing his run. Fornaroli. He's dribbling it infield. Steins. Has Bramwell in front of him. Run, Bramwell. Why is he jogging? I don't get it. What's the tactics here? Is Bramwell just not wanting to move out wide? Is that... There's a few times now. Why didn't they start Steins? It's a good question. It was a bit more of a defensive setup, the starting lineup, wasn't it? Especially with those fullbacks in wide positions. Oh, good pass by Fornaroli. Bramwell heads it back in, but no one's there for glory. Goodness. So there's a bit more endeavour from Perth in this last 10 minutes, but still not enough to breach this Western United side. Mariners for Life says Western United will win this 3-0. Yeah, man, I reckon they could snatch one on the counter. Hyper Gang asks, Western United contenders for the title? We were talking about that a bit earlier, and I think so. Well and truly. Absolutely. If not favourites. Now. Isaac, how's it going? Good to see you in the chat. How's it going, Isaac? Substitutions will be made now for the away side, Western United. So it's going to be Lustica to come off for Skatadis, Jerry Skatadis. And Adisu Bayu, who looked good against Sydney FC. I think he started against Sydney FC. He's coming on. Bayou's coming on from Piraeus. One of the goal scorers. Goal scorer of the second goal, Dylan Piraeus tonight. He's had a good game. Really good game. All right, so fresh legs on for Western United to hold out for the final stage of this game. Burke Gilroy down the right, in for Bramwell. Kieran Bramwell in the box. Strike, going to go wide. Plenty of wayward, plenty of off-target strikes for Perth Glory this game. Would love to see what the shot stats are at now because, goodness me, I think they've mainly only had maybe one or two on target. But the updated lineups are on the screens now. Skatadis and midfield, Bayo on the right. Isaac, I'm a big fan. So good, dude. So good. Such a good stadium. So good, Isaac. Were you at the fan interviews? Hyper Gang says Perth to score one, but can't get a second after a great Western United save. Yeah, it's going to be hard for Perth to find anything still. I said it earlier, and I think I'm still standing by it. Perth, be very surprised if they score a goal this game. Hyper Gang predictions for the Carabao Cup final tonight. Probably Liverpool. It'll be a good game. Probably Liverpool. All right. Perth Glory throw in on the halfway line. Shush says Bramwell's useless. He hasn't really had much of an impact. Western making this will be... Yeah, this will be their final substitution. Tomoki Imai is going to come on for Josh Risdon, who's had a fantastic game yet again. Josh Risdon. We'll talk about him potentially getting a Socceroos call up. Will it happen next month? I think it should. A lot of you guys in the chat at the time agreed as well. What do you guys think? Josh Risdon? Socceroos? Ahead of Ryan Grant? I think it just makes sense. If you look at the way that both guys are playing, I mean, Josh Risdon just has been so consistent in every game. Ryan Grant's been a bit in and out, missed some games here and there. Had COVID early this season. He was one of the Sydney FC players who had contracted COVID. CEO Chris at West United commented in our West United fan group page on Facebook that there will be exciting news about the stadium soon. That's awesome to hear, Julian. I wonder what it'll be. Maybe like confirmed dates for building, because I don't know if they've got that sorted out, have they yet? But that's good news if you're a West United fan, man. And for the A-League in general, I keep saying it a lot, that for West United to really establish themselves, I mean, to have their own stadium it would be massive. To have, it would be the first new team to come into the league and build like their own purpose-built stadium. No other new team has done that. Shadow says, I think Arnold would choose Grant over Rooston because they're best buddies. Okay. So we're entering the 85th minute now. And there's a long way for Perth to come back if they're going to get anything out of this game. Here's Bruno Fornaroli. He's dropped back to receive the ball. Jerry's Katardis, well done to win it. Wow. Neil Kilkenny's played very well tonight as well. Credit to him. Credit to Lacroix on top of Stanley. This has been another good West United performance. Prijovic chipping in with his goal. Real presence up top. Lockie Wells, fantastic. Dylan Paris, fantastic. A lot of good performances when you look at West United as well. It's not... The thing with Western, it's not like they have one or two key players who really carry them. It is so much a team effort. More so than any team in the league. I really believe that. And the live ladder, as it stands, is showing it on the screen now. Again, Western ahead of Melbourne City by 1 point and have a game in hand. That is massive. That really is massive. So Western United really running things now. At the top of the ladder is Daniel Steins for Perth Glory. Collie for Clisby. Come on, Glory boys. Score us a goal. Oh, yellow card for Skatardis. I missed the foul, to be honest. Colley's down. I think a couple of Perth players went down there. Julian says, can't wait for the stadium. It'll be amazing when it's finished. Yeah, man. I mean, and I like how, if they're sticking with the plans they originally showed, they showed a while ago, like it's not going to be that massive, which I think is a good idea, to build a stadium that, is only 15K or whatever it is. I think that's a good idea. If you can get like a packed 15K state like that, that'd be an awesome atmosphere, wouldn't it? It'd be really, really good. All right, Brandon O'Neill, free kick. Jack Clisby standing over it as well. O'Neill to deliver. Big collision in the box. Jamie Young has just taken out, I think it is Stanijevic. Oh, it might be Kieran Bramwell, in fact. I think it's hit his head. And he doesn't look well. It's not Kieran Bramwell. Who is it? It might be Stanijevic. It is Darko Stanijevic who's coming for his A-League debut, and it's just, goodness me, copped an absolute blow from Jamie Young. Oh, fearless stuff. I mean, no foul play, and then of course both players committed to winning the ball. Jamie Young. Gosh. Well, at least Stanijevic is sitting up and looks okay. Well, not okay, but he looks all right. Jamie Young, 7 clean sheets so far this season. The next behind him is Philip Cotter with 4. Jamie Young, what a season he's having as well. We're talking about best keepers in the league. Philip Curto, Ollie Sale. Jamie Young's up there for sure, man. Most saves, most clean sheets. I don't know if you can go past him now. So Darko Stanijevic is up and walking, but he doesn't look in a good way. That's right, Mariners for Life, who says, would rather see 15K people at a small stadium than go the 15K people at a 40,000 seat stadium. Yeah, 100%. I mean, 100%. Smaller stadiums are the way to go. At least for the immediate future, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so not long to go in this game. With that injury, that might add another minute or so to the injury time. I reckon we might have maybe 4 minutes of injury time. Probably 4. Apart from that, there really hasn't been many stoppages at all. I think 4 sounds fair. Julian says it's funny because I've seen quite a few advertisement boards with West United on it. I mean, there is all the talk for it, but actually doing something different. Do you think Jamie Young or Birighitti deserves a spot as third choice keeper for the Socceroos, says Shadow. Here's a chance for Perth's glory. Doesn't work out for Zimmerino. I think Jamie Young's English, isn't he? I think Jamie Young might be English. I'm not sure. Ahead of Danny Vukovic with his experience. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. And goodness me, why am I forgetting the other keeper that we play? Andrew Redmayne. Look, I think they're fair shouts. I think they're both fair shouts. I'm pretty sure, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but Jamie Young might be English, right? I don't know if he has an Australian citizenship, whether he could get picked for Australia. Alpex says, I don't care how West United's active area looks, but it'll look much better at Wyndham Stadium. Yeah, 100%. 100%. If they can get that set up, make it a really, unique stadium with their own vibe, I'm keen for it, dude. I'm keen for it. Keen for away days, man, in Wyndham. Western Melbourne. It'll be good for them. Will be good for the A-League, and will really help them develop their identity. 4 minutes injury time. We predicted it, and we got it. Forgot about Vukovic, Langerak. Well, Langerak technically retired, if you like, from international football. But it was a bit of a weird one. He sort of he didn't really want to be involved with it anymore. He's taken time off from it. So I don't know if he's going to come back into the international team anytime soon. Shush Clown, thanks for coming back to the question. Prediction now for City Perth. City win easily. 2-0. 2-0. Yeah. City should win against Perth Glory during the midweek. Hope Melbourne City get their own stadium soon. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I think Amy Park is going to be the stadium, and it's a good stadium, Amy Park, for Victory and City. And whether maybe one of those guys want their own stadiums, I don't know. I think it's okay them both playing out of Amy Park. It would be cool. I am all about their teams having their own stadiums, and we're seeing that in Sydney. Wanderers have Combank. Sydney are going to have the new Sydney Football Stadium, which is looking dope, which is coming together ready for next season. MacArthur of Campbelltown Stadium. It would be interesting. It's something I really haven't thought about. What do you guys think? Would you want to see Victory and City have their own stadiums? Like maybe one of them stay at Amy Park? I think maybe it makes sense for Victory to stay at Amy Park, eh? Or here comes Lockie Wales, goes down. No foul, says the ref. Scott says, ouch, the truth hurts, Lockie. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. I said a few things in the last minute, so I'm not sure what that might be in reference to. Is it the City Perth prediction? Here's Daniel Steins for Glory. Is there a goal in the end here? Consolation goal made for Glory. Western might come the other way here. Kilkenny looking to release Prijovic. Players attacking down the right. 3 players. Prijovic finally sends it. It's picked off by Clisby though. Alpex says City and Victory both from City of Melbourne. So they both own Amy. There you go. Alpex says, I heard rumours on the A-League subreddit about Melbourne City getting a potential stadium in the southeast of Melbourne. Feels sort of weird if Melbourne City have their stadium outside the city. I mean, I know they're getting they're having the base set up there. Hey, but yeah. Oh yeah, Scotty. The Perth prediction. I mean, what do you think, Scott? How do you feel about Perth Glory? and how the rest of the season is going to pan out. I'm still optimistic that once Perth get back home next week and get a good run of home games going, there's a potential for them to turn the season around a bit and spring forward, make a push for the top 6. We've got a lot of games to play still, Perth Glory. Yeah. All right, not long to be played now. Just over 30 seconds in this one. Western United are going to take 3 points away from Launceston against Perth Glory here. Perth played 3 games down here. They won last week against Brisbane Roar, 1-0. Important 3 points. Lost midweek against Macarthur, 1-0. And then here 2-0 against Western United, loss. So Perth, they'll travel to Melbourne to take on City on Wednesday night. City will, rightly so, go into that game as favourites. 2 tough games in succession for Perth Glory, but finally get home. It'll be great to see the Glory boys back home. Hopefully Daniel Sturridge back on the park. And Western United are well and truly title contenders. And it is full time. Western United 2, Perth Glory 0. Perth Glory 0. Wow, what do you guys make of that game? Big stuff. Western United, my goodness, aren't they in control? City and Western starting to take over, says Shush Clown. Big 3 points for both sides. I mean, Western United here, and then last night, man, Sydney FC going down to Melbourne City. Big goal from Matthew Leckie. Shadow says Amy is one of, if not the best stadiums in Australia. I've never been there, but it looks fantastic. Would love to get down there. Alpex says, I wouldn't mind if they move stadiums, but Amy is really, really, really good. Yeah, I just can't see it happening, man. I can't see either of the teams moving. Rock says, Richard Garcia out. It might be heading that way soon enough. It'll be interesting to see how they go in this home run of games. Alpex says, I want to see City Western Grand Final for the memes. It could certainly happen. Scott says, sad at the moment, no excuses, but the games in hand have to be earned still. I feel like we look. I feel we need to look into different coach. I think lack definite play style. Completely reactive. Yeah, it's negative from Perth Glory, I think. And if you look at the lineup here, and this is pretty much what they played when you guys are seeing on the screen. This sort of a 4-1-4-1. It's not a formation we see a lot in the A-League, to be honest. And they don't have the personnel to. I mean, they're playing a system, as I mentioned earlier, to suit the personnel. They don't really have that many exciting wingers, that many exciting attacking midfielders. I think Daniel Steins is really good. I think, obviously, we know how good Bruno Fornaroli is. Brandon O'Neill in midfield. But apart from that, there's just not enough for Perth Glory. I mean, no Andy Keogh today. Sturridge out injured. And just, how much is he going to be involved for the rest of the season? And Adrian Sardinero, another player who people really haven't spoken about. Played a few games at the start of the season and has gone missing now as well. So Shadow says, Perth showed no attacking threat until Steins came on. I 100% agree. Alpex says, can't wait for City versus Perth, which will basically feel the same as this game. That was Imai's 50th game, by the way, says Alpex. There you go, Tomoki Imai. 50 games in the A-League for Western United. How good. One of the best defenders in the league. Scott says, we miss Diego Castro. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a different side without him. He's a classy player, and they're really missing him. Big time. Big time. Alpex says, Western United 7 undefeated now. Dude, it is massive. It is massive for Western United, a team who brought in John Aloisi, brought in some new players, kept a good spine there. But Leo Lacroix, Neil Kilkenny, Lockie Wales, Prijovic. So good, man. So good. Feel bad for Fornaroli though, says Alpex. I mean, he's on the screen now. He's doing the post-match interview. He had 4 shots today, only one of those on target. 28 passes. He was involved. He had to drop back for it, though. He had to drop back for it to receive the ball because against giants like Leo Lacroix and top of Stanley, he's not going to get much possession. But look, some work now for Rich Garcia. Perth boys will be looking forward to get back home to Western Australia. And it is fantastic. The that they're getting back home. Guys, thanks so much for tuning into this live watch along. Keep an eye out this week for all of the reaction that we're going to be doing throughout this week. And I'm going to let you guys know right now, we're doing a bit of a new thing. Tomorrow night, following the Brisbane Royal Melbourne victory game, which is the final game of the round, we're going to be doing a live round review, talking about all the rounds, all the big talking points, reviewing the games, reacting to everything. Tomorrow night, it's going to be from 9:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. That is just after the full-time whistle in the Brisbane Royal Melbourne victory game. So join me here live on the YouTube channel for that round review. We'd love to have you guys in the chat to hear your reaction from the round, hear all your thoughts. And, of course, keep an eye for all the live streams coming next weekend in the A-League men's competition. It is awesome stuff. So glad that you guys are here to join me for it. If you have enjoyed the stream, make sure you hit like. And if you're not subscribed already, feel free to hit subscribe. We're doing a lot of content here on the Coast Watch Football YouTube channel. My name's Lockie. This is Coast Watch Football. And I'll catch you guys